into question again tonight. The opposition is calling for a criminal investigation into what it calls her flagrant abuse of government aircraft. It turns out Redford's staff may have bent the rules so she and her daughter could fly solo in private jets. Vashi Capellos has the details.
Alison Redford's own party is calling in the RCMP, asking them to decide whether to investigate the former premier's use of government aircraft. Bureaucrats have been told to hand over any and all evidence.
Enough is enough. You know, Albertans not need to worry, and I don't want to live worrying what is the next thing that's going to come out. What is it that we don't know yet?
A leaked Auditor General's report exposing how Redford and her staff orchestrated private flights set off the storm. Here's what it describes. A government plane with, for example, 8 seats is booked by the Premier's staff, but only 2 people, in this case Redford and her daughter, are traveling. It's government policy for a flight that empty to either be cancelled or the aircraft changed. To avoid that, staff would book false passengers to fill the seats. At least a dozen times, those so-called passengers would never show up, giving Redford a private flight.
There is a public expectation that politicians who may have broken the law should be investigated, and if warranted, they should be charged and they should be held accountable before a court of law.
There is precedent for that. Suspended Senator Mike Duffy recently charged with more than 24 counts of fraud and breach of trust for misusing taxpayer money.
According to the criminal code,
criminal defense lawyer Michael Johnston says if the allegations against Redford are true, it would constitute fraud, but proving it was Redford who booked the flights could be hard.
She's the one even making her own arrangements, and are there directions or instructions left for whoever makes those arrangements?
As for Redford, her office says she's unavailable. No word on where she is. Safe to say, though, with the possibility of an RCMP investigation looming, she won't be flying away from this controversy anytime soon. And it might not end there. Sources say cabinet ministers were aware of Redford's use of the false passenger practice and sometimes even used it themselves. Vashi Capellos, Global News, Ottawa.
Premier Redford